Okay, good morning class. So for today we will be discussing family of curves. So what are family of curves equation? So these are equations involving a parameter as well as one or both of the coordinates of a point in a plane may represent a family of curves. One curve corresponding to each value of the parameter. And this equation are mostly standard equation for conic section of line, circle, parabola, ellipse, and hyperbola. So for our family of curves, this is just an introduction, I mean application of our elimination of arbitrary constant, if you still remember from our previous discussion, elimination of arbitrary constant, since our goal here is to arrive or derive a general equation for our curves or our family of curves. Okay, so listed there are the equations of some curves. So first is ax by plus c is equals to 0, or the line general form. Y is equals to mx plus b, the slope intercept form, which y is our y-intercept and m is our slope. Y minus y sub 1 is equals to m multiplied by x minus x sub 1, or the point slope form. X over a plus y over b is equals to 1, or the intercept form of our line. So for our circle, we have x minus h then squared plus quantity y minus k and then squared is equals to r squared, wherein our hk is the point of our center or center ng ating circle. So this is the x and y coordinate of our center. So h and k is our center of our circle. And also for parabola naman, and just to add, our r is the radius of our circle. And then next, for parabola, quantity x minus h squared is equals to plus minus 4a multiplied by quantity y minus k. And that is for vertical parabola or parabola parallel to the y-axis. And for the horizontal parabola or parabola parallel to the x-axis, y minus k squared is equals to plus minus 4a multiplied by quantity x minus h. Okay, so for our parabola, our hk here is the location of our vertex. Okay, h is the x coordinate and k is the y coordinate of our vertex. So pag sinabi natin vertex, it is the lowest or highest point of our parabola. And also for our ellipse, so quantity x minus h squared over a squared plus quantity y minus k, quantity squared over b squared is equals to 1. And y is equals to k squared over a squared plus x minus h squared over b squared is equals to 1. Okay, so again, for our ellipse naman, our h and k also is the x and y coordinate of our center of our ellipse. And then for hyperbola, this is the equation. Okay, so now we move on to our next slide. Okay, find the equation of the family of circles having their center on the y-axis. Okay. So our general form or equation for our circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equals to r squared, wherein our h and k stands for the center. So from our problem, ang ating center daw is along or at the y-axis. So if we will be drawing our circle, so this is y and this is our x-axis. Eto, sorry. So, if yung center is on the y-axis, so pwede dito or somewhere along with the y. And this is our circle. So, looking dyan, therefore, yung ating h and k, or the x and y coordinate niya, yung h niya is 0. So, therefore, this is 0. H is equals to 0. So, yung ating equation, yung if our h is 0, pwede na natin i-cancel yung h. So that ang matitira natin is x squared plus y minus k squared is equals to r squared. Okay. So this is now our equation. So dito na tayo mag-start ng ating equation or our solution. So, in elimination of arbitrary constants, for how many constant or parameter we have is how many also, how many times we have to differentiate our equations. So, we have two parameter or arbitrary constants, which is r and k. So, we will be differentiating twice. Okay. So, we can now have our first differentiation. So, 2x plus, or x squared, so this is will be 2x plus 2 multiplied by and y prime. Ito yung differentiate nito. And then, r squared, r is constant, therefore, if we differentiate this will be 0. So, this is now our first equation. So, we just simplify, this will be 2x plus 2y prime minus 2y prime k is equals to 0. Okay. So, 2x minus plus 2y prime minus 2y prime k is equals to 0. Since we have a common or a constant 2, so we can divide the whole equation by 2 para ma-eliminate natin yung 2, no? Okay, so 2 will be cancelled out already. Okay, so the remaining formula or equation will be just x plus y prime minus y prime k is equals to 0. Okay. So, we have the first differentiation. Meron na tayong isa. Okay? This is our equation number 1. But, since we have the remaining k, so from here, pwede na nating ibukod yung k. So, we can have our equation for k. So, this will be x plus y prime is equals to y prime k. And yung ating k just will be x plus y prime over y prime. So, ito na yung ating formula or equation for our constant k. So, from here, we can just say that, or we can now do our second differentiation. So, rewrite ko lang k is equals to x plus y prime over y prime. Okay, so we can derive next our equation. So, since k is constant, if we derive this will be 0. So, now we can k is also eliminated. So, this is differential equation. So, we will use low D high, high D low, no? Na tinatawag. So, low D high, high D low. So, we will have our low, which is y, and then multiplied by the differential equation of our high. D high. Low D high, or derivative of high, minus high multiplied by the derivative of the low. So, low is y prime, and the derivative of x plus y prime. This is x, this is 1. And then, product rule, y prime. So, y double prime plus y prime, derivative of y is y prime. Minus, our high is x plus y prime, multiplied by the derivative of our low, which is y prime, o y double prime na siya. All over y prime squared. So, therefore, our equation now will be y plus y prime, y double prime, plus y prime cube. Tama ba? Minus y double prime plus y prime, y double prime, all over y prime squared. So, this upper equation, we can cancel out. Okay. So, this is actually enclosed. Therefore, itong is minus, no? So, we can eliminate this one and this one. So, ang matitira nating equation is 0 y prime plus y prime cube minus y double prime over y prime squared. So, ito na yung ating pangalawang differential equation. So, this is our number 2. So, are we done? Okay, we almost done, but we further simplifying this, no? So, we'll just cross multiply since our DE do not have numerator like that. So, pwede na natin siyang i-cross multiply. So, therefore, y prime squared multiplied by 0 is 0. And yung ating matitirang equation is y prime plus y prime cube minus y double prime. Okay, so this is our equation. Okay? So, this is our general solution. So, again, how many times did we do our differentiation? So, once and then twice. Okay? So, bakit ko ba binukod yung K or gumawa ako ng formula for K? Para mas maging madali yung ating differentiation since yung K is already separated from our variable. So, mas magiging madali yung differentiation. Okay? So, that is our answer or for the general solution of our number 1 problem. Okay? So, we can just rewrite it though that this is x, y double prime. Paglilipat natin sa kabila is minus y prime cube plus or minus y prime is equals to 0. Okay? So, those are the general equation ng ating. Good? Okay. So, that next problem. Okay. Number 2 problem is straight lines with slope and y-intercept equal. So, for our y-intercept, this is y is equals to mx plus b. But since the given is our y-intercept or our b is equal to our m. So, we can substitute m to our b para mas madali. And because dealing with family of curves, we'll just be using or we will eliminate our arbitrary constant. So, dito sa ating unang equation, we have two arbitrary constant which is m and b. But since m and b are equal, so pwede na nating eliminate yung isa by substituting yung value ng another term. So, y is equals to mx plus yung b natin, which is m. Okay? So, now we are good to do our differentiation from this equation. So, y prime is equals to m and our constant m multiplied by the derivative of x is 1 plus derivative of m na constant is 0. So, ang remaining is y prime is equals to our m. And m is equals to b. So, therefore, we can substitute our y prime to our original equation para mas ma-eliminate natin yung ating mga constant or our arbitrary constant. So, y is equals to, so we'll substitute to this equation, m x plus b. So, m is y prime. X plus b is also y prime. So, y is equals to y prime x plus 1. So, we're done. Or we'll just simply write this y minus y prime x plus 1 is equals to 0. So, this is our general equation now. Okay. But if you wanna see yung dy dx, we can just write it though na like this. So, y dy over dx x plus 1 is equals to 0. And remove dx from our numerator. This will be y dx minus x plus 1 dy is equals to 0. This is our answer. Okay? So, next problem. So, circles with center at the origin. So, pag sinabi nating circles with its origin, its h and k is 0, 0. Correct? So, our formula for our circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared, k and then squared is equals to r squared. So, since our h and k are 0, h is 0, k is 0, our formula or our equation will just be x squared plus y squared is equals to r squared. Okay. So, we do our, or we will focus on this equation. So, we eliminate the arbitrary constant r. So, there is only one constant here, or arbitrary constant, which is r. So, we will just be eliminating once. So, eliminating or differentiate once. So, 2x plus 2y y prime is equals to differentiate or derivative of r squared is 0 since this is constant. So, 2x plus 2y y prime. Okay. So, 2 is common. We can multiply or subtract, divide our whole equations from 2 or multiplied by 1/2 para mawala yung ating mga 2. Therefore, our remaining will be x plus y prime is equals to 0. So, this is our now general equation. O, kung gusto nyo nga again, si dy dx. So, we have x plus y dy over dx is equals to 0. Or simply, dxx plus y dy is equals to 0. So, this is our answer. Next. So, straight lines with slope and x-intercept equal. Okay. Again, our general solution for our slope-intercept form is y is mx plus b. Okay. So, ang sabi dito, our m and x are, or yung ating slope and yung ating x-intercept is equal. So, first is to get our x. So, hanapin natin what is x. So, we say that y is equals to 0. So, y is 0 equals to mx plus b. Therefore, our x will be minus b over m. Okay? But, since our x is equals to m, therefore, our formula will be m is equals to minus b over m or simply our b is equals to negative m squared. Okay, so m is negative m squared for our b. So going back to our original equation, so we will write y is equals to mx plus, since b is negative m squared, so negative m squared. So y is equals to mx minus m squared. So we can now start our differentiation. So we now have only one arbitrary constant, which is m. So we will be doing our differentiation once na lang. So y prime is equals to m multiplied by 1 minus 0 because m is constant. So y prime is equals to m. Okay? So this is our equation number 2. Okay, and this is our equation number 1 no? Yung ating original equation. So, if m is equals to y prime, we can substitute our m to our original equation. So, this is y, or substitute to the original, to equation 1. So, therefore, this will be y is equals to y prime x plus b. b is negative m squared. So, therefore, b is equals to negative y prime squared. Tama ba? So, therefore, this is b is negative y prime and then square. So, this will be y is equals to y prime x minus y prime squared. So, ito na yung ating sagot or our general equation. But, just simplify it, no? So, this will be y prime squared minus y prime x plus 1, y is equals to 0. So, this is our general equation. So, tapos na. And again, pwede nyo namang palitan to into dy dx. It's okay. So, that is number 4 problem. Next. Circles with center on the x-axis. Okay. So, pag sinabing circles with center on the x-axis, if this is our y and this is our x, yung center daw niya on the x-axis. So, ganyan siya. So, therefore, yung ating h and k, yung k natin is 0. So, our equation for our circle is x minus h, then squared, plus y minus k squared is equals to r squared. If k is 0, so ang matitira natin is x minus h squared plus y squared is equals to r squared. So from here, we can this is now our equation 1, or yung ating equation. And meron tayong dalawang arbitrary constant, which is h and r, and so we will do our differentiation twice. So we'll start now. So this is 2 multiplied by x minus h, and then multiplied by the derivative of x is 1, plus 2y y prime is equals to 0 since r is constant. Okay, so this is 2 x minus h plus 2y y prime is equals to 0, but okay, or available yung 2 on both equation, on both terms, we can divide by 2 yung ating equations and we can cancel out 2, so that yung ating remaining equation is x minus h plus y y prime is equals to 0, or simply x minus h plus y y prime is equals to 0. So this we're done with the first differentiation. So this is our equation 2. And next is to again do our differentiation. Kasi nga meron pa tayong isa pang constant and nakakaisang differentiate lang pa lang tayo, no? So if we differentiate x, this is 1. And then our h is 0, plus product rule y double prime plus y prime is equals to 0. So therefore this is 1 plus y prime plus y prime squared is equals to 0, our answer. Or our general solution. Okay. So next problem. Okay. So 6 or number 6, family of parabolas with vertex on the x-axis and axis parallel to y. So parallel siya sa y. This is y and this is our x-axis. So, therefore, yung ating vertex daw is nasa x-axis. So, pwedeng nandito siya. So, ating parabola is somewhat like this. So, therefore, yung kanyang HK or yung kanyang vertex, since nasa x-axis siya, yung kanyang K is 0. Okay? Or yung y coordinate niya is 0. So, as we write our general form or equation for parabola parallel to y-axis, this is x minus h squared is equals to 4a y minus k. And, again, the vertex is on the x-axis, therefore, our k is 0. So, our equation now, or our working equation now, will just be x minus h and then squared 4a y. Okay, but again, so we have an 4a na constant, and ang rule natin in differentiation or in our DE, our constant will remain the same. So we can say that 4a is just equals to a since they are constant. Para lang matanggal natin yung numerical value ni constant. Well, anyway, this is constant. So, our working equation now is x minus h squared is equals to ay. Okay. So from our equation, we have two arbitrary constant h and a. So we will be differentiating twice. So first, this is 2x minus h and then 1 is equals to a y prime for our first differentiation. So simplifying this will be 2h or 2x minus 2h is equals to a y prime again. So we still have our two constants, and since we've just differentiated once, pwede pa tayo ulit mag-differentiate ng isa pa. So 2x is 2, and then x is 1. 2h is h is constant, 2 is constant, therefore this will be 0 is equals to a, and y prime, derivative of y prime is 2y y double prime. Therefore, our 2 is equals to a y prime, y double prime, or a is equals to 2 over y prime. So we can use this equation. Next, so since a is equals to 2y double prime, we can equate or substitute the value of a to our equation, or to our equation number 1. Diba? So we can substitute to equation 1. So as we substitute to our equation 1, this will be 2x minus h is equals to a is 2 over y prime, y double prime multiplied by y prime. Okay? So I think we can cancel 2. So therefore, ang matitira is x minus h over, or x minus h is equals to y prime over y double prime. We can cross multiply, so we can put our y double prime sa taas. So this will be y double prime is equals to, or multiplied by x minus h is equals to, sorry. So I think we still have a constant h. And since nakagilid na siya, no, or nakabukod naman siya, we can have this separated. So we can have a formula or equation for h. So this will be x minus y prime over y double prime. So h is equals to x minus y prime over y prime. So we already differentiated twice, but still, yung ating equations have a constant, which is h naman. And since nagkaroon tayo ng value for our h, we can substitute these equations to our working equation, which is equals to 2x minus h is equals to, yung general equation, yung ating our working equation na x minus h squared is equals to ay. So, bakit? Because as we substitute our a and our h and a sa ating working equation, we will be able to eliminate now yung ating constant h and a. So, x minus, since our h is x minus y prime over y double prime is equals to, yan, squared. And a is 2 y double prime y. Okay. So, this first term or first equation on the right, or the left, we can simplify. This is x minus x plus y prime over y double prime. And then squared is equals to 2y over y double prime. Okay. So, we can cancel out x. Tama ba? So, ang matitira is y prime over y double prime. And then, both squared is equals to 2y double prime. And since parehas naman siyang squared, we can say this is y prime squared over y double prime squared. And this is 2y or over 2 or over y double prime. Okay. So, we can have our cross multiplication from this. So, as ang matitira natin, or I'm sorry, so I would just like to do is to multiply our y double prime raised to 2 here, so that the remaining equation will be y squared is equals to 2y multiplied by y double prime squared over y double prime. So, from here, we can cancel out yung 2, and then, yung ating y double prime sa ibabaw is raised to 2, and meron tayong single, or meron tayong y double prime sa ilalim. So, pwede na natin tanggalin yung 1. So, our remaining equation will be y prime squared is equals to 2y double prime. Or simply, this is 2y double prime minus y prime squared is equals to 0. And this is our general equation. Answer. Okay? So that is for our problem number 6. Next. Parabola with vertex and focus on x-axis. So, this parabola is parallel sa ating x-axis. So, for our parabola, parallel to our x-axis, ang ating equation is y is minus k squared is equals to 4a x minus h, or x plus h, x minus h. Okay. So, ang sabi dito, ang ating vertex on a x-axis. And this is parallel to our x-axis also. Kung ganito yung vertex niya, therefore, yung ating h and k, yung x niya, or yung kanyang y coordinate niya is 0. So, therefore, this k is 0. So, y squared is equals to 4a x minus h. And again, 4a is equals to a, or this is constant. So, dyan na tayo mag-stick. So, our working equation now will be y squared is equals to a So, this is our working equation. Okay. So, this is y squared ax minus ah. So, this is the first derivative, and then we do our second derivative, or the second differentiation. So, this will be 2. Sorry, hindi pa tayo nakapag-derive pala. So, what are the next thing to do is to derive our equation. So, the first derivative will be 2y prime is equals to a1, or derivative of ax is a, because x is 1, and this is 0, so minus 0. Therefore, 2y prime is equals to a. Okay. So, this is now our first derivative. And then, second derivative is 2. Labas natin si constant 2. And therefore, we have our y. y prime, which is product rule. So y double prime plus y prime multiplied by y prime is equals to a is constant, therefore this is 0. So our equation will now be 2y double prime plus 2 y prime and or 2y prime squared. This is equals to 0. So we can multiply it by 1/2 or divide by 2. So this is y double prime plus y prime squared is equals to 0. And this is our general equation. Solution or equation. Okay? Or general solution, sorry. That's for number 7. And for our last problem, ellipse with center at the origin. So our general solution for our ellipse is x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared is equals to 1. Okay. So our h and our k is the center of the ellipse, and sabi dito our center is on the origin, therefore this is 0, 0. So 0 and 0. So therefore our working equation will just be x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared is equals to 1. Okay. So the next thing is to differentiate. So we have two unknown or two arbitrary constants a and b. So para mas maging madali, we will put or our a and b will be transferred to our right side. So we'll just multiply by a squared and b squared. So therefore this is x squared b squared plus a squared y squared is equals to a squared b squared. Tama ba? Okay. So now we are ready to derive. So derive na natin yung ating equation. So b squared is constant. Therefore, this is b squared, and yung ating 2x, yung x squared, this is 2x. A squared is constant, and then therefore this is 2y prime. In a squared and b squared are constant, so 0 siya. So therefore yung ating 2b squared x plus 2y prime a squared is equals to 0. So we can cancel out 2 as we divide both sides by 2. So b squared x plus y prime a squared is equals to 0. So this is now our equation number 1. So after our derivative or differentiating ones, we can now differentiate for our second or pangalawang differentiation. So b squared is constant. So santabi muna natin siya, and x is 1 plus a squared is constant, and yung ating y and y prime is product rule. So y double prime plus y prime is equals to 0. So or b squared plus a squared y double prime plus a squared y prime squared is equals to 0. Okay, so this is now our equation. So but still we have our arbitrary constant a and b. So may a and b pa rin tayo. So what are we going to do? Okay. So we're simplifying it, or we will derive a formula for or equation for b. So b squared is equals to minus a squared y double prime minus a squared y prime squared. So, pwede na natin gamitin ito. Pwede, so, this is for B. B squared. So, looking dyan sa equation, so, saan ko siya pwedeng i-substitute? Diba? Saan ko siya pwedeng i-substitute? So, looking with our figure or our equation, dito sa equation 1, there is a b squared x. So, pwede natin siya dyan i-substitute. So, this is a y double prime minus a squared y prime squared multiplied by x plus y prime a squared is equals to 0. So, therefore, this will just be negative ax y double prime minus a squared x y prime squared plus y prime a squared is equals to 0. So, pwede nating i-factor out si a. So, a, or pwede nating tanggalin si a, since a is common on all our terms. So, we can divide by 1a squared. So, a squared will be cancelled out. So, ang matitira is negative x y squared y double prime minus x y prime squared plus y prime is equals to 0. Okay? So, therefore, ito na yung ating equation. So, we'll just clean it up para matanggal yung mga negative sign. Multiply na lang natin siya sa negative 1. So, x y double prime plus x y prime squared minus y prime is equals to 0. So, therefore, this is our general solution. Okay? So, that is our family of curves lecture for today. So, please review. And the next topic, I will be posting also yung laws of growth and decay. So, please study because due to holiday, wala tayong klase. And I want you to study kasi mahuhuli po tayo sa ating next topic kung hindi ko to if forward or ibibigay sa inyo. So, please study class. Thank you.